Geekazine is a proud member of the Tech Podcast Network found at www.techpodcast.com. If it's tech, then it's here.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the Geekazine Weekly Podcast. I am your humble host, Jeffrey Powers, and you are in beautiful Madison, Wisconsin. We got a great show for you. I took 2 weeks off, kind of. Well, I've been busting my patootie, getting you some cool content and a lot of other stuff. We're going to be talking a lot about rumors today. We're going to be talking about the Foot Locker's Wiki. We're going to be talking about 50 compelling brain facts. That's the old one. I want the new one. Let's do this. There we go. And we're going to be talking about Apple and smacking down patent trolls. All that on this week's episode of the Geekazine Weekly Podcast. Let's get that usual scrubby. Let's get started.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the Geekazine Weekly Podcast. My name is Jeffrey Powers, and you are here in beautiful Madison, Wisconsin. As I said before, and I shall say again, and I shall say till the end of time, welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, if you follow Geekazine, you know I had 2 weeks off, kind of. I didn't do last week's show because of the fact that I was at Interop, and things just got really, really hectic, and just didn't get a chance to really sit down and do that. But I did lots of video, and you're going to check that out. We're going to be showing you some of the video, an 18-year-old that's doing a lot more than I could ever do in my lifetime. And that's all going to be on today's episode of Geekazine. How are you? If this is the first time you've come to the show, thank you very much for coming to the show. My name is Jeffrey Powers. We record this every single Tuesday for your Wednesday consumption with maybe a sausage burrito. Kind of tasty, right there, sausage burrito. Last week it was burgers. Now it's sausage burritos. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Anyway. Hey, I encourage you to come over to Geekazine.com. Geekazine.com is where you need to go to get all the stuff you need to know with all the stuff you need to see and all the things that you need to be. I made that rhyme. That was kind of cool. But anyway, that's over at Geekazine.com. Excuse me, www.geekazine.com. You can see all the cool posts, and of course, you're seeing all the Interop stuff. We got Flex Campus there with Eric Papier and Papier, or what? Flex Network with who was this? This was who was it? Kaushik Bot. That's it. Les Stewart talks IMC. Just a whole bunch of stuff. If you are in the virtualization cloud area and you need to take a look at servers, then you can check that out over at Geekazine. We're going to be running that all week. We're going to have it all done by the end of the week so we can turn our sights to the next part, and that is New York City. New York City! New York City. Yes, I'm going to New York City! Yeah, I'm going to New York City for Blog World New Media Expo. And we're going to be talking about that in a few minutes there because they also are helping with the show here. But Blog World New Media Expo is where you go to check it out. If you're in the New York area, you should go. You should go. So anyway, we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. But in the meantime, hey, come over to Geekazine, register for the show notes, and of course you can get it into your email every single week. I think I fixed email things, so I'm good there. We're all happy there. Let me take a drink of water quick. So if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. And we've got everything set. Everything's set. You can get me on Twitter. You can get me on Facebook. You can get me at 608-205-4378 or geekazine@gmail.com. That camera's got a little bit of light issue. I apologize for this. I was trying to get this all set up to work off the MacBook Pro. Now, the idea is I haven't had a full podcast test off the MacBook Pro. I've done some tests on it, and that's going to be our mobile solution for video. So I wanted to set that up, and I was getting it all set up, and I was getting to the point, it's like, I'm not ready to do the show with this. So I didn't do the regular podcast with this. This is why I'm back sitting here. Otherwise, you'd see me behind the Geek Bar. And but in the weeks to come, we're going to give this a try. I'm going to actually do a test, an actual live test that you can go. I'll put it up on Ustream, and I'll let everybody know via Twitter, via Facebook that hey, I'm going to do the special podcast sometime a little bit later this week. I'm thinking Friday, because once I go on Tuesday, and that's probably the big reason. Maybe I'll do it Sunday, and I'll have a pre-podcast for Tuesday, because on Tuesday I am not going to be doing a podcast because I'm going to be on a plane going to New York City. New York City, New York City. Yeah, but I'm sorry. When I get there, I'm the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to meet up with some friends, actually the people over at NBC Universal, and they're going to give me a small tour of 30 Rock, which is pretty cool. Then that evening, I don't know if I'm going to be over at a Blog World party yet, or if I'm going to be over to a, what is it, a TechCrunch Disrupt party. But I'm going to try and do both. I put in credentials, credentials for TechCrunch Disrupt. I'm hoping somebody will say, hey, why don't you come over? Come over with your camera. Bring that camera over here. Come on, you can do it. And we'll see what happens. But I'm gonna try and make the stop over at some of the TechCrunch Disrupt events, and maybe I'll crash some of the post events. We'll see what happens, because TechCrunch Disrupt happens on the 23rd through the 25th, and I'm going to be there the 24th through the 27th. So what happens is I get there on the 24th. I'm going to go and take the tour of 30 Rock, and then do some evening stuff. Blog World the next day. And I'm going to figure out if I'm going to actually be doing some podcasting from Blog World. And I'm hoping to do the videocast rig from Blog World. We'll see what happens. And I'll probably just take the webcams and not the big cam. This one right here. That's a little bit out of light range. So. But anyway, we're going to get that going, and I will be in New York City. New York City, New York City. Yes, I will be there. So come on and check me out. If you live in New York City and would like to have dinner or something like that, feel free to give me a call at 608-205-4378 or geekazine@gmail.com. Of course, you can also Twitter me at Geekazine. I keep forgetting to talk about that. At Geekazine is where you go to Twitter me. So, I hope your week is going well, because I've had one heck of a week. Like I said last week, got on a plane Saturday of the 7th. Got on a plane, went to Vegas. We did a walkthrough, met all the bloggers. We spent 4 days just getting video. I got about 20 videos. And of course, we're pushing them through over at Geekazine. Got back on a plane about Thursday, got home, and tons of work befell me at home. So even right now, after this podcast, I have to meet up with some clients and get some stuff done. So it's going to be a very, very hectic week. And then, of course, next week I'm going to be going to New York. I'm going to be staying at the Hotel Pennsylvania, which is across the street from Penn Station. And like I've never really stayed in New York, so this is going to be new for me. They don't have internet in the hotel rooms. You've got to go down to the lobby, and you pay like $3 an hour. Now, apparently, there's a Borders Books across the street. Hopefully, they'll still be open, and hopefully, I'll be able to sit down, have a cup of coffee, and do some Wi-Fi. So we'll see what happens there, but it's going to be very, very interesting. I'm really surprised that they don't have in-room Wi-Fi or wired for like $15, $20 a day. That just really surprises me. So we'll see what happens. It's all new. I'm going to take both my cameras and my video rigs and just see what happens. See where the day takes us with everything. So anyway, so I'll be there next week, and then the following week or 2 weeks, I will be about a week and a half later. I will be back in Vegas for HP Discover. So that's going to be very exciting. I get on plane, I think on June 3rd. June 3rd, I get on the plane and fly to Vegas, and I'm going to be there for the week. Get back that Friday. The band's starting to play up again. Trailer Kings being my band, of course. And we're going to be up in the Dells this Saturday, Wisconsin Dells this Saturday. And then, of course, we've got a full schedule. You can always go to trailerkings.com if you really want to know what my band's doing. So, but I just wanted to pump out to the group out there that I will be there Friday. I'll see you guys then. And you guys should come up to Wisconsin Dells sometime this summer because we're going to be playing at the Baja. You can check out our schedule at trailerkings.com. Like I said, I'll be at TechCrunch. I'll try to go to TechCrunch Disrupt. If there's anybody that has any influential knowledge or influence into TechCrunch and would like to help me get there, please let me know. Like I said, I'm waiting for an email. Hopefully I'll get it, and we'll go from there. I did create a small survey over on Geekazine, just a quick survey asking what you think of the shows and what I should do to improve it. You can put in your name and email, but not required. So go over there and check that out. And then finally, I want to show you something right here. This is a thing called Kickstart. I'm going to be checking this out a little bit more. I just found out about it this weekend. And this is a guy that's creating an imaginary marching band. We'll turn down the volume a little bit there, but he's doing a startup, and basically what Kickstart is just that. It's taking anybody that needs a little bit of extra money. I found out about this because a band was looking to raise some money to make their demo video or something like that. And so they were asking for money, and I checked it out, and I was really getting behind this imaginary marching band. I added a few dollars to his goal. He's trying to get $10,000 by June 8th. So it looks pretty cool. You get two gloves, you can actually hit them together, and then they become the drums. You do a little trumpet there. See, I don't need glove to do that. Anyway, so I'll just play trumpet all day. Anyway, I went out of focus. That was weird. Let's go back over to this camera. I'll stop it now. I will. So anyway, check it out. It's over at Kickstarter.com. See if there's anything that you want to give a little bit of cash to help out get something going. So I even submitted something because I do a lot of local video here in Madison, like for instance the social media breakfasts and other video like that I don't get paid for. So I'm going to put in a submission for Kickstarter to try and get some cash that will help me upgrade equipment, cameras, and stuff like that, so I can continue to create content. And I don't have to put in ads to support it either. So go over to Kickstarter and check that all out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I stopped talking so I can start talking about our sponsors. And our sponsors, and we'll get the content out of the way. We're going to start over at GoToMeeting. Go over to gotomeeting.com/tech. I'm sorry, I did the wrong way. Okay, go over to gotomeeting.com. They put the button in. You see that? They put this button in that says free trial. But if you go over to gotomeeting.com, you'll see a button that says try it free. And you click that button and you enter in the code podcast at checkout. PODCAST at checkout. And that's going to get you 30 days of a great program in GoToMeeting. And I'm going to tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. We use GoToMeeting here at Tech Podcast Network for a lot of things. The roundtables, a lot of meetings. Did a meeting just last week on GoToMeeting. It's never failed me. PC, and now I got the Mac. I'm going to try it on Mac. You also can get an iPad version, so you can sit out in the park if the park has Wi-Fi and just watch a meeting. You could do that all. In the click of a button, you can start meetings instantly. You can do a whole ton of stuff over at GoToMeeting. Go over to GoToMeeting now. Click the Try It Free Now button and enter in the code podcast. Code podcast at checkout will get you that 30-day free trial. So check it out. And, of course, put that into your business toolbox over at gotomeeting.com. Of course, also another sponsor of ours is Mosey.com. Geek gets you 15% off that already low price. $5.99 plans start at per computer, $5.99. You can back up your pictures, back up your documents, back up your life from your laptop, your desktop, excuse me, from anything. And that's the power of Mosey. So remember that code GEEK. Geek gets you 15% off that already low price over at Mosey.com. Of course, if you go over to Stitcher.com/geek, Stitcher.com/geek, you can download Stitcher for your mobile device. It's your mobile solution for podcasts. You can get the Geekazine Weekly Podcast. You can get the Day in Tech History. You can get the 5 Tech Things You Should Know About, the audio version, over at Stitcher.com. Remember, Stitcher.com/geek, and you enter in your email address, you download the application, and you're entered in for a chance to win $100. $100. So give it a try. Check out Stitcher.com, and good luck to everybody out there for winning the $100. Of course, like I said, Blog World and New Media Expo is happening next week. If you're in the New York area or plan to go to New York to try and check it out, there's a lot of great stuff, a lot of great learning information here. But if you go through Geekazine, and all you have to do is go over to geekazine.com/blogworld, geekazine.com/blogworld. That'll take you right to this page. And then you enter in BWSave20, BWSave20, and that's going to get you 20% off that already low price. So go over to Blog World and get that, and of course that helps the Geekazine podcasts. And then finally, everything that I do here is on Telestream and Wirecast 4.0. It's a great program, and I just got the new Wirecast bumper, so I'm going to be putting that up very, very soon. They've got a lot of other great programs where you can make a full video studio. The episode program, which basically what that does is you can put your videos into a line and then push it out, and the episode program will put them out with commercials. There's a lot of different programs, over at Telestream, and prices start at $449. So, but go over to geekazine.com, click on the link. The link's right over here on the bottom here, right underneath the Snork Tees one, and right next to the Blog World one. And of course, that'll help Geekazine and my videos right there. So thanks a lot for watching, and thanks a lot for helping me keep the lights on over at geekazine.com. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, without any further ado, let's get into your show, because we've got a jam-packed show. And ladies and gentlemen, guess what? It's rumors. It's rumor time. Rumor time. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are on rumors, and I hope you like that little. If you didn't watch the video, you didn't see it, but there's a little bumper I put out there for rumors, and but you probably heard the audio there too. So, first rumor of the day is Amazon. Amazon has been rumored to be building some tablets. They want to work on the next. I guess it's going to be the next version of the Kindle e-reader. More powerful Kindle. I guess it would be Kindle 3, but I guess they're realizing that, hey, we can have an e-reader or we can have a full-fledged tablet and go from there. So I'm hoping that they're going to keep it at a 7-inch tablet. We'll see what happens. But in the meantime, CEO Jeff Bezos says, stay tuned. That's right. Stay tuned. Anyway, if you want to check out more on this, it's over on Device in the show notes. Go over to geekazine.com. Check out the show notes. Of course, you can subscribe to the show notes via many, many different ways, including iTunes and Zune. All right, let's go over to geek.com. Geek.com, and another rumor. Microsoft is, of course, rumored to buy Nokia. This comes from the source. It was BGR, which was Blog Geek Boy or something like that. I don't remember the whole thing. But there was, or it's a Twitter post, wrong one. Twitter by Eldar Murtazin. He's a Russian technology blogger who's managed to scoop the media. We'll find out. Microsoft is looking into Nokia's mobile division for about $30 billion. It'll be pretty interesting to see what happens, especially since Microsoft, they have their phone, of course, the Mobile 7. But what do they get for getting Nokia? I mean, they'll get the whole Nokia Symbian phone, which is great, but that's old technology. There must be a patent or something like that they really need to push forward. So I don't understand this totally, but then again, it's the phone area. So if you know why this is such a big deal for Microsoft to buy Nokia, let me know for $30 billion. I mean, granted, it will push Microsoft to the number one phone carrier, but it's an old technology. I don't know. Let me know. 608-205-4378 or geekazine@gmail.com. All right. New website over here, digitaltrends.com. And the last rumor of the day, and that is the weekend rumor of Apple. Oops, wrong one. Weekend rumor of Apple. That's what the heck happened there? That's not what's supposed to happen. Did that stop working? Hold on a second. The weekend rumor of Apple. It stopped working. That's weird. It's just frozen. Anyway. Sometimes you have sometimes things work, sometimes things don't. So anyway, what happened was Apple's planning a 10th anniversary opening of the first retail store. There are rumors circulating that they're going to spring a surprise on a surprise or two on its fans. That's how I'm supposed to say it. There we go. This is where BGR, Boy Genius, reports that their employees are signing non-disclosure agreements. Can't tell anybody, and of course they're locking their cell phone, their iPhones or something like that. So I'm assuming they're going to be watching some video and learning about it. They cannot tell anybody. So we're just going to have to wait. The surprise is supposed to come out on June 10th. Oh, I'm sorry. No, it was the 10th anniversary. It's this Thursday that they're going to talk about it. So we'll get to find out what could it be. Could it be an iPhone mini? Could it be a 7-inch iPad? Could it be a new iMac Book Pro with Super Thunderbolt? I have the power thunder. I don't know. Could it be I don't know. Could it be a transformer? More than meets the eye. There's my Mac. It's a robot. Yay! Anyway, it's all in the rumor section. And that's over at digitaltrends.com. And that's the rumor section for this week. All right, let's get back in. Let's get you some real news here. First of all, congratulations to Blip.tv. I don't know if you've seen this yet. Let me see if I can pull it up really quick. But Blip.tv has revamped their site. Of course, Geekazine is part of that revamped site. You can check that out over at Geekazine. The new it's geekazine.blip.tv, or you go to TVazine, and that'll get you there too. And of course, the revamp on the site. What do you think of it? That's the question of the week that we're going to be asking, and of course, I'll tell you about that a little bit later. But about 3 weeks ago, they asked me to update all the graphics. This is exactly what they wanted, so I did so, and that's the new Geekazine on Blip.tv, or like I said, you can go over to TVazine to find out what that's like. So, but anyway, there's an article over on TechCrunch that's talking about 1 billion views per quarter, how Blip is becoming the video destination. It's a great little video right there over on TechCrunch. You can check that out over there. Of course, like I said, go over to the show notes, and you can see the link right there. That'll get you to where it is. So CEO Mike Huddock, I think is how you pronounce it, talks about the new features of the site and everything like that. And of course, if you go over to there and just go over to blip.tv, remember to like Geekazine on Blip.tv, Geekazine at Blip.tv. So I appreciate that much. And, of course, check out all the videos there, including, like I said, all the interop video coming up. So let's move on here. Foot Locker has decided, and this is over on Mashable.com, Foot Locker's decided to launch what's called Sneakerpedia. Let's see if this is working now. Nope, it's still stuck. Dang nabbit. Anyway, Foot Locker has decided to launch Sneakerpedia, and I'm going to try and reboot this thing really quick. Hold on a second here. Hopefully this will kick it in. Anyway, Sneakerpedia, which is basically a Wikipedia for sneakers. There we go. Look at that right there. Yay. Sorry about that. Of course, if you're listening to the audio, you're going, I don't really care. Oh, what just happened? I don't care. I don't care. Anyway, but if you're watching the video, now you're seeing a sneaker on the video. So they're creating Sneakerpedia, which is a wiki for sneakers. So you'll probably find out about all the cool shoes that's happened in the past, in the future, and in the present. I did that wrong, but you understand what I'm talking about. So pretty cool stuff over there. Sneakerpedia.com, I believe, is the website. So you can check that out and check out all the shoes. Of course, the shoes I'm wearing right now are Walmart special $20 shoes. Ooh, better put my shoes back on. Anyway, sometimes you got to get the $20 shoes. Sometimes you got to get the $200 shoes. Right now, I'm getting $20 shoes. Go figure. Anyway, so check that out over at Mashable.com. It's kind of a sad thing, but apparently a sixth grader has stolen his teacher's, as I think it was his teacher's, 12-year-old elementary school student in Ohio was charged with felony theft after taking a substitute teacher's iPad. He had an iPad stolen in the classroom on May 11th. Kid was busted after school. Security cams found him with showing it off to fellow students. He ended up stealing. He said he stole it, but he gave it away. And so I don't know if the iPad was returned, but teachers got to watch out. Got to watch out. Those kids, they steal iPads. If I was a kid, I would probably think to myself, I bet you the answers to the tests are on that iPad. Something to think about. It's nice technology, and eventually, in 2-3 years, we're all going to have technology that's pretty much disposable. Instead of $499 iPads, you'll be able to bring in a $50 tablet in the classroom. That's really not worth much, and you have it locked, so there's nothing they can do. Maybe reset it at the most, but then I don't know. We'll see what happens. It was bound to happen, expected to happen. It did happen. So it's too bad that sixth grader, a 12-year-old, ended up doing it. But it's kind of sad, but what can you do? You got to move on from there. So anyway, if you want to read more about it, cultofmac.com. Of course, we've all heard about the Sony PlayStation outage. And of course, Sony came back online on Friday in California, and then they moved to the rest of the United States over the weekend. And then they apparently are across the seas. They're finishing up all their reboot. But what was really interesting about this, and I'm reading this over on bbc.co.uk, is that the PlayStation blog said, well, we're sorry, we're going to offer you some free games. Many gamers will be get to choose from like 5 games. It's actually kind of sad. You can choose from Little Big Planet, Little Big Planet, Infamous, Wipeout HD Fury, Ratchet and Clank, Quest for the Booty, and Dead Nation. 5 games. You got a choice of one of 5 games, which some people might actually already have the 5 games. And actually 2 of the 5 games. Yeah, you get 2 of the 5 games. Or if you're PlayStation Portable, you'll get Little Big Planet PSP, Mod Nation PSP, Pursuit Force, and Killzone Liberation. You're getting sold for a cup of coffee, as Todd would put it. And I agree. In this point, it's like they're just saying, hey, here's a game. Sorry about it. Here's a game. Sorry about selling your information, your email. No credit cards were, so we're not too worried about your email. Your email could be compromised. So here's a game. Sony. And the funny thing is, over the weekend, Xbox sales just kind of boom. Nintendo Wii sales boom. PS3 sales. Meow. I need a sad trombone for. See, I don't need that. I can do it myself. Anyway. I don't know. Did you have a Sony PS3? I had I had use of one for about 2 months, about 2 years ago. So yeah, my credentials would be compromised, but I didn't have anything on it. If they even keep my name that long, I don't know. What do you think? Are you a PS3 player? Are you really happy that you're going to get 2 free games that you might already have? Are you not too happy? Let me know. 608-205-4378. Excuse me, or geekazine at gmail.com. You know, Microsoft is and Bing have been really working. And I don't know if you've heard this yet, but Microsoft is is starting to really incorporate Facebook into Bing. So the search engine basically puts the like button right into the search results. So now you don't even have to go to Facebook. You can just, yeah, I like it. I like it. I like it like that. Like that. Yeah, I like that. That one I like. I like it a lot. Interesting stuff. I don't know if Facebook is really happy about that. But then again, I suppose you can go to any website. You go to geekazine.com, you go to the top and go, I like that. I like it a lot. Anyway. So now you can go into your search results and just go like. And that's it. And you're liking it. I don't know. We've got the article over on eweek.com. Do you even use Bing, or are you sticking with Google search? I use Bing very little. It's all Google search for me. But I'm gonna have to check this out and see and just like everything. I like it. I like it. I like it. Like it. Anyway, eweek.com for that. You can also like it on eweek. Let's move over to betanews.com. Stop looking at my mug. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about Chromium. Of course, last week, I/O conference, I missed that, and they said, hey, we got the Chromium, which is the web OS, what I'm calling an OSB, which stands for OS browser. And now you can get the operating system browser in Chromium. They're giving out laptops and stuff like that. I don't know what the prices are on that, if you can get them for free. There's a lot of people that get them for free. Guess what? I don't get one for free. It's not a really big deal. I wouldn't use it anyway. Yeah, you heard me right. I'm not going to use the Chromium OS. Even if they gave me a free notebook, I'll turn around and do what everybody else is doing and sell it on eBay. Sell it on Craigslist. Why? Because I think it's a piece of junk. You know, we talked about it on the morning show on Saturday. I joined in with Todd and Rob Greenlee from Zune. And I like the idea that it's going to be web-based, but we're not ready for web-based. Heck, I'm going to New York City. I'm going to a hotel in New York City that doesn't have internet in the rooms. Does that show you that we're not ready for something like Chromium yet? I don't know. Anyway, there's an interesting viewpoint. The person's name is Larry Seltzer, and he says, hey, I'd rather just do Windows with a browser. Yeah, I'll have to wait a few minutes to load up, then use Chromium. I suppose it does have its advantages, but if I want something with a web browser, why don't I just get a tablet? This does come with 100 megs of free 3G access, so I suppose it might work in this hotel if I have 3G access. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. What do you think? Did you get a Chromium? Did you like it? Do you not like it? Let me know. Geekazine at gmail.com or 608-205-4378. Betanews.com for that information. HP has announced, and this is over on PCWorld.com, excuse me, HP announced that they're going to choose USB 3.0 over the Thunderbolt. I'm kind of sad about that option. Now, granted, it's all internal architecture, so it's all about the bus. And Thunderbolt is one bus, and USB 3.0 is another bus. And you can have both of them on there. But the reality is, that takes up power, that takes up space, and it might even be hotter if you have it. Which one's hotter? Is the Thunderbolt bus hotter than the USB 3.0? Does it have faster speed? They're saying the Thunderbolt will have a faster speed once you start using fiber optic cables. But HP has decided, okay, we're going with USB 3.0. And it kind of makes me sad a little bit because I really wanted to have that universal use over everything. And I'm not going to get that, especially if I use HP devices. So, we'll see what happens. And of course, Thunderbolt is new in technology, and it's supposed to be faster than USB 3.0. But I'm guessing that HP is decided that USB 3.0 is a little bit more stable than Thunderbolt, so they're going that way. Maybe they just don't want to deal with Thunder. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But if the people end up going for that standard, HP will ultimately switch. There's no way around it. So the MacBook Pro does have Thunderbolt on all the ports. So when I put in a PC card, it actually reads at the speed of the PC card, or the little SD card, which is really nice. So anyway, check that out over on PCWorld.com. There's a lot of ads in these websites here. Hold on a second. Here we go. Let's move over to TG Daily. I don't know if you heard about this, but BlackBerry Playbooks had a small little problem, which you had to return your playbook in a recall. But it didn't deter RIM to go forward with their plans, and their plans are to go international. So next month they are going to go international. You can read more about that over on TG Daily. Check this out over on geekbeat.tv. Let's see if we can go back here. There we go. This is called Picks and Sticks. And this was, like I said, over on geekbeat.tv. And what this is it's a drum set. Of course, you get GarageBand. You can get a drum set on GarageBand, and for the iPad, and you can make things a little bit more playable with these drumsticks and the pick. Now, here's a word of warning, because I am a drummer. I'm going to tell you something. When you start playing the drums, it gets a little bit out of control. And even if those things are completely made of a soft foam, either one of two things. You're not going to like the response on them, or you're gonna love it, and you're gonna just hit it the wrong way, and next thing you know, the little glass is gonna go. Doesn't matter how soft they make those drumsticks. They gotta keep it with some sort of feel, because if they're all floppy, you're not gonna want to use them. But if they're stiff enough, then they're stiff enough to break the glass. So I see a lawsuit happening here. Now, the same thing, they also have a pick there that you apparently use strum. It'll probably be a little bit better. It probably won't break the glass on that. But I can see this happening. I can see some lawsuits come out of this. And I can see Apple go, if you use these drumsticks on the iPad, you void your warranty. I'm sorry, but we're not going to repair glass on that. I don't know. It says about $15 U.S. price for the picks and sticks. So check it out. Let me know what you think. Especially if you're a drummer. I don't have an iPad, but if you're a drummer, check it out and let me know over at geekazine@gmail.com. There is an article over on Fox News about an Israeli couple naming their baby daughter Like, because they felt, we're now at this point where we say, when somebody says Like, you think Facebook. And so they decided, most of the times that's how names get started. Like trout fishing in America. It's popular, and all of a sudden somebody's named trout fishing in America. Artist formerly known as Prince. All of a sudden, there you are. So, I don't know. It's a new name. So, are you going to name your kids Like or Dislike? Or maybe On the Fence? That's a good name right there. So, what do you think? Let me know. 608-205-4378. FoxNews.com if you want to read that. There's an interesting article over on Blogger about 50 compelling brain facts. Now, one thing I always knew is if you yawn, if all of a sudden you're just sitting there and that usually means that your brain needs some oxygen. So some facts with it, you might want to check this out, and then drink some water. Drink a couple glasses of water because your brain needs it. Your brain needs it. And you do have a brain. Everybody's got a brain. So this is over on patrickdreesen.blogspot.com. Check this out. If you are waiting for Green Lantern to come to the theaters, check this out. It's called the Mimobot. And yeah, his head comes off and it's a small little USB drive. 4 gig to 16 gig capacities start at $5 to $30 to $7. Of course, we're at 16 gigs now. I got a 32 gig USB drive. And I got a whole bunch of 4 gigs over at the Interop. So we'll see what happens at Blog World, how many 2 gigs and 4 gigs, and go from there. But if you want some cool geek stuff, then you can check that out. That's over at chipchick.com. Interesting article over at USA Today about augmented reality. And they're showing how you can you wear a pair of glasses to do different things. Like, for instance, if the copier's jammed, you put on a pair of glasses, and they're going to point you to the exact place where you should check the jam. If you look at a game board, all of a sudden the pieces are going to rise out of the game board. And then you don't have to use pieces, you just have them virtually there. Different types of things with augmented reality. And it's a really cool article. It's over on usatoday.com, so check that out. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, end of part 1. We're going to get into part 2 here really quick, but I want to show you this. This right here is a computer built from scratch. Isn't that pretty cool? The guy, his name's Steve Chamberlain, and he decided that he's going to build a computer. Now, it's not going to be some powerful computer like an i3 or an i5, but it's just basically a small computer, just like you would in an old Odyssey or a VIC-20 or something like that. And he used regular motherboards, put it together, and set it up. So what he did is kind of like the large scale of your regular processor. And it's pretty cool. It runs 8 bits and runs BASIC. And he got a lot of pictures here. He even has a chess game that you can play off of this motherboard. That's pretty cool. So I wish I could build my own motherboard, but yet I don't have that knowledge. But it's a great mod and pretty cool. If you're a modder, check that out. Modding Geeks love that type of stuff. In the meantime, like I said, I cannot build you a motherboard, but I can build you a great show of content and cool stuff. And we got more. But right now we're going to show you a video over on the video side. The audio, of course, will get the Stitcher thing. Check out the video. This is Louis Cruz, and we'll have this on the site a little bit later on this week. Louis Cruz is an 18-year-old kid that created a pair of glasses that can help you if you have a disability, like let's say your arms don't work. You can actually browse the internet through there. So we're going to show that to you and then get you into part 2 on the Geekazine Weekly Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we will be right back. Geekazine coverage of Interop is brought to you by HP Networking. Change the rules to enable the cloud. Also brought to you by Citrix and GoToMeeting. Go over to GoToMeeting.com, click the try and enter in the word podcast for a 30-day free trial. And also Telestream and Wirecast. Produce your show straight from your computer right to the internet with Wirecast. Geekazine is a proud member of the TechPodcast.com network. If it's tech, it's here. Continuing coverage of Interop, Jeffrey Powers with Geekazine Tech Podcast Network. We're down here in the back of Interop where the cool technology is. We got Louis here. Louis, how old are you?
18 years old.
You're You're 18. You're going to you're still going to high school, right?
Yeah, I'm a senior student.
Senior student. You want to go to college, so you decide, well, I'm going to get myself some enterprise going, so I can make some money, so I can go to college, right?
Yeah, that's the plan.
So you develop these glasses. Tell us a little bit about what you're wearing.
Well, these glasses are they hold some electrodes. The thing is that I'm using electroculography, which is a technique used in the biomedical field, and the glasses gives a more comfortable interface for the user, so they can interact with the computer using eye movements. So the electrodes are in the glasses senses the voltages in the eyes, and I can play around with those voltages and use that information to detect eye movements, so I can interact with the computer.
Definitely. And so you have the prototype set up right here that basically what happens is, if you're looking at a screen, like for instance the screen that's shown right here, you can actually move around, make movements from the computer.
That's right. So I can show it to you in real time, and you can check out how it works. So the thing is that I'm using left and right movements, and I'm adjusting the glasses right now. So as you can see on the software here on the screen, this is the software I'm controlling right now.
Okay.
So I'm basically trying to write something using just the eyes. Let me put this again. So I can write something just with eye movements. This is an excellent approach for people with disabilities, to overcome communication obstacles. So the software works like this. I move this arrow down using left movements, so I can choose the box. Then when I have the box selected, I move the eyes to the right, and I can change the letter. So let's say if I want an L, I can stop. The letter will automatically be chosen in 4-second delay, and that's how the basic of how this project works.
So what you're doing is you're looking for funding so you can either build this or sell this to a company that would want to go further with this, right?
Yeah, basically, since this is an excellent approach to help people with disabilities, at a very inexpensive price compared to other technologies, this is a very, cheap solution. So
It looks like you're playing Pong on this one.
yeah, that's one of my oldest projects, which was a video game system, and I'm actually controlling the paddle with the eyes.
Okay.
And it shows how versatile is this project. It can be used in many other applications. As you can see in the video, I'm just moving the eyes and move the paddle as well.
Okay.
And I used to paste those electrodes in the skin, but I decided to make the glasses so I can have a more comfortable user interface.
So where do people go for more information for you?
Well, I got a website, which is intelsat.com, which is the name of my company, and Intelsat.
Intelsat.com. All right. Well, thank you very much for your time. Nice suit too. I like that. So, for Tech Podcast Network, I'm gonna play some Pong here. So Jeffrey Powers here. Thanks for watching. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Welcome back to the show here. That was Intelsat. That was Luz Cruz and the facial recognition software on the video side. Welcome back to the Geekazine weekly podcast. Of course, if you're listening to the audio, if you're watching the audio, then it's just going to look like. But if you're listening to the audio, thank you very, very much for coming to the show. We do this show every single week in audio form and video form, and push it out to you as quick as possible. Like I said, next week we're going to have a really odd schedule. I'm going to try and do a show on Friday or Sunday. I haven't figured out that yet. Then going to New York for Blog World New Media Expo. If everything works correct, then I might even do a show that Thursday from Blog World. We'll see what happens. I can't promise anything, of course, but I'm formulating some stuff here. Might have a special show here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get back into the show because we've got a few minutes left, so let's get you some cool stuff here. And we're going to start over here. When I first started out with Geekazine, I was thinking to myself, well, I always thought it'd be cool to have, because I did this on my previous site, Toonst, where when Christmas came around, I had a Christmas theme up on top, and when Halloween came around, there were a couple pumpkins up on the top of the page, and a little PHP file, PHP scripting that basically said if it was this date range, you put up this picture. If it was this date range, you put up this picture. But Google took it to the extreme by creating what they called Google Doodles. And of course, there's a Google Doodle even for today. What's the Google Doodle today? Let's find out really quick. Oh, maybe it's not. I thought there was a Google Doodle today, but I guess there wasn't. But anyway, the Google Doodles are apparently driving about 2 million page views in a day. So it's really got me thinking. Maybe I need to do some stuff with the website, because people are coming in saying not only what's going to happen with the Google image, but what's more important, what's going on for the day. And I do the day in tech history. I could easily do Geekazine doodles for each day for the day in tech history. So something to look into. And something to think about in website building. I mean, I've been doing a lot of reading, a lot of looking at how websites are designed, and you want that familiarity, but you do want that change a little bit. So, something I'm going to check out here. This is a great article over on Steve Rubel's blog, so check that out over at steverubel.com. All right. Of course, we heard about last week about Microsoft's Skype deal, and I'm still on the fence on it. If Microsoft bought Skype for $8.5 billion. Microsoft, what are they going to do with it? They say that they're not going to change anything. They say there's still going to be a Mac version of Skype, whether it's going to be better or not than what it is right now. That's to be seen. But the bottom line is, if you want to use Skype, use Skype on a PC. The first thing I did was load Skype on my MacBook, and I was somewhat not too impressed. So, anyway, what do you think? Do you think Microsoft is going to do anything with Skype, or are they going to ruin Skype? I don't know. Let me know. This is over on zdnet.com. I don't want to spend too much time on it because it's older news, and go from there. That does bring us to the question of the week. The question of the week, and it goes like this. The question of the week this week: thoughts on Blip.tv's new look. What did you think of that? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Is it jumping out at you, or do they need to work on it again? And that's the question of the week. I forgot to do the graphic there, so let's go back into the show here. We're going to talk a little bit about Apple and their preparations to work with this, or to go after this company called LoadSys. Now, last week, LoadSys was talking about, they were talking about it on most of the news. LoadSys is suing certain iOS developers for a purchasing mechanism that's inside the iOS applications. So if I had inside the iOS application something that says, buy this now, then I could get in trouble by this LoadSys. Well, Apple has decided that they're going to get into the whole thing, because LoadSys hasn't gone after Apple. They went after the little guys. And Apple's going, well, that's not right. We need to go after them. But what I have a big problem with this is Apple is a patent troll in itself. So it's a big patent troll going after a little patent troll. So that's what I'm trying to wrap my brain around, is how can Apple really say, well, I'm glad they're doing it, don't get me wrong, but how can they say that they're going out, well, they're actively investigating is the word, but they're going to go after them, and they're going to do one of two things. They're either going to say stop it, or they're going to say That's not a bad idea. Let's buy you out. Let's incorporate it, and then we can be part of this. The patent. I don't know. I haven't looked at the patent yet. So, and I'm wondering how they developed or they got this patent. If they actually created the patent, they ended up buying the patent. So, but we're gonna see what happens here. But it's just really, when I read this, it's like, how can Apple likes to buy up patents left and right? And here's a little guy that has a patent that wants to get a little bit of money out of it, whether it's here nor there, if it's actually true. If they do own the patent, then they should get some money out of it. But then again, if I'm an iOS developer and they're taking money out of the patent and Apple's taking its 30%, is my application still going to be worth putting together and upkeeping? Or am I just going to get a cup of coffee out of the whole deal? I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that this is a good thing or a bad thing that Apple's going after LoadSys? Do you think Apple's just going to go after LoadSys to buy the LoadSys patent? Let me know. 608-205-4378 or geekazine@gmail.com. All right. Check this out. John Accarino showed me this link, and I was pretty interested. And it's basically the 11 largest data breaches in recent history. Now, if you remember, a couple years ago, we had the TJ Maxx credit card fraud, which took about 45 million credit cards. But there's a lot of other ones, and then we had the more recent one. I think it was one of the outdoors stores, like Gander Mountain or something like that, lost a bunch of credit cards. But we're showing, like, for instance, the supermarket chain, Check Free, Ameritrade, FIS, that's Fidelity National Information Services, and so on and so forth. A lot of different types of data breaches out there. The iBill, U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, 40 million credit cards were hacked there, and so much more. So there's 11 of them here. And if you're interested to take a look at that, this is over on wikibon.com. I'm sorry, wikibon.org. Of course, if you go to the show notes, you can just go there and check that out. Finally, you have all these office supplies, and you're going, what do I do with the office supplies? Why don't I make cool things out of it? Hey, why don't I make an X-Wing fighter? You like my little graphic there, my little audio sound effect. Anyway, Spooky Lean shows the instructions on how to design an X-Wing fighter. It looks like you're using, I call them bull clips, but I guess they're not called bull clips anymore. They're little clips. So you have a Sharpie in there. It looks like a pencil sharpener, a couple Eraser Mate pen caps or pen caps, and those little things that you use to put in the hole punches to keep the papers together. It looks pretty impressive, don't you think? I thought it did. I was really impressed with how that X-Wing fighter looks so realistic. What's really cool is it could be like a Sharpie holder. So you can put it on your desk. It's like, here, I'm going to pop out the Sharpie. I'm going to use the Sharpie, put it back in. Or maybe turn around and then put actual pens in the pen caps, and then you got a pen holder right there. Have you ever made anything with your office supplies? Have you ever had something cool? I have a Rubik's Cube on my desk, and I know how to solve a Rubik's Cube. So what I do is I like to play little games with my Rubik's Cubes. You can flip it around to make the little checkerboard design, or I do little interesting patterns in my Rubik's Cube. So pretty cool stuff. Let me know if you've made something out of office supplies that you have on your desk. Please send it to me. Don't send it to me, but send me a picture of it over at geekazine@gmail.com. Of course, you can also call the hotline, 608-205-4378. But send me some pictures of your cool artwork on your desk over at your office or whatever. Anything cool, whatever you got. You got a Rubik's Cube on your desk? Send me a picture. If you've got an X-Wing fighter, send me a picture. If you've got a picture on your desk, send me a picture. If you've got me on your desk, hey, What am I doing on your desk? Send me a picture. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I'm going to picture you out of here because I'm getting out of here myself. That does it for the Geekazine Weekly Podcast. I hope you had a great time. I hope you enjoyed it. Please, if you did, please tell your friends. Please tell your friends' friends. Please tell your friends' friends. You can distribute this. It's free. You can just say, hey, I'll take a podcast. I'll take the video cast. I'll send it over to my brother, Art. And Art will watch it. But if you charge Art any money, hey, I need a little bit of cash myself. So throw that my way. So Geekazine is under the Creative Commons No Deriv license. So I'd like to thank everybody for helping out with the show. I'd like to thank all the music, all the stuff, of course, the creation, and, of course, Louis Cruz that helped out with the video there, and so much more. If you got any questions, feel free to call me at 608-205-4378 or geekazine@gmail.com. That does bring it to the end of the show. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks a lot for listening. We will see, not next, well, kind of next week. I'll keep you abreast over on Twitter. Go over to twitter.com/Geekazine and follow me, and then you'll know more about it, where we're going, what we're doing. So I will be in Blog World next week, and I'll see you in New York. In the meantime, we will talk to you later on the Geekazine Weekly Podcast. Take care.